Welcome back. This is Pharma Careers, clear role breakdowns, practical skills, and step-by-step career roadmaps.
All right, let's just get right into it. If you're starting out in pharma, or even if you're a few years in, you're probably being flooded with career advice. Well, today, we're going to do a little reality check. We're going to look at that popular hustle culture advice and see how it really stacks up against the cold, hard truths of the pharmaceutical industry. You've heard this a million times, right? Move fast and break things. It's the battle cry of Silicon Valley, the absolute cornerstone of hustle culture. The idea is that speed and disruption are what gets you noticed and what gets you ahead. But here's the billion-dollar question. In an industry like pharma, does that attitude get you a promotion? Or does it get you shown the door? Because let me tell you, what works in tech can be a straight-up catastrophe in a world built on patient safety. Breaking things isn't a trophy here. It's a terrifying liability. And this, right here, is the absolute heart of the matter. Pharma is a regulated industry. It doesn't reward the loudest person in the room or the one who takes the most shortcuts. The entire system is built on safety and proof. That means it rewards discipline, killer documentation, and a deep, genuine respect for the process. That's rule number one. So what does this actually mean for you when you're just starting out? Well, this is where a lot of expectations have a bit of a collision with reality. Look, your first job in pharma probably isn't going to be glamorous. It's almost always going to be focused on execution, doing very specific, often repetitive tasks. And I need you to hear this loud and clear. That is 100% normal. It's how basically everyone gets their start. Just look at these typical entry-level jobs. If you're in QA, you're documenting. In QC, you're testing and retesting. Pharmacovigilance, you're processing case after case. See the pattern? You're learning the fundamentals of the system by actually doing the essential work that makes it run. So please, don't confuse your starting role with your final identity. It's not who you are forever. Think of it like this. It's your paid training ground. It's where you master the rules of the game before you're ready to level up. Okay, so you've put in the time, you've mastered the basics. How do you actually get that big promotion? How do you see those real jumps in your salary? Well, the answer probably isn't what you think it is. A lot of people expect their career to just, move up slowly and steadily year after year. But in pharma, the really significant leaps in both responsibility and pay, they're not gradual. They are triggered by a fundamental shift in how you operate, and it all comes down to one single powerful idea. And there it is, ownership. This is the real currency for career growth in pharma. It's the moment you stop being the person who just does the tasks and you become the person who is responsible for the outcome, the good, the bad, the whole shebang. It's on you. And this is what ownership looks like in the real world. We're not talking about owning small to-do lists. We're talking about owning high-stakes results, owning the conclusion of a major investigation, owning the outcome of a regulatory audit, owning a submission strategy or critical safety decision. This is where the real value is. And let's be honest, it's where the real money is too. Okay, so you get it. You need to build ownership. But how do you actually prove that to a hiring manager, especially when you're up against like 50 other people who all look good on paper? Take a good look at this, because it's a hard truth a lot of people miss. A resume with 5 fancy certificates but 0 proof you can actually apply any of it? That resume is probably going to lose. It's going to lose to the candidate with just 1 certificate, but 2 solid proof projects that show they can actually deliver. Managers hire for proof, not just promises. And you know one of the most powerful forms of proof you can have? Your writing. You have to understand this. Pharma is, at its heart, a writing industry. I don't care if you're in a lab or an office. Your ability to write clearly, accurately, and persuasively is directly linked to how fast and how far you'll go. These are the documents that literally run the entire industry. Being able to write a rock-solid deviation report, a thorough investigation, or a protocol that makes sense, that's not a soft skill. It's a core competency. This is how you prove your value. Now, let's talk about the job search for a second. The entry-level market is just crowded. It's tough. And the biggest mistake people make is the spray and pray approach, just applying to everything that moves. But you know what that does? It makes you completely invisible. You just blend into the noise. So what's the fix? It's focus. You need to build a targeted profile. That means you pick one kind of role you're really going for. You build one clear story about why you're the perfect fit, and then you line up all your proof projects to support that specific story. That is how you cut through the noise. All right, let's bring this all home. We've busted a few myths, we've laid down some core truths about the industry, so now let's talk about a clear, actionable game plan for actually building that amazing career. It really boils down to 3 habits. These are the things that separate the people who grow from the people who get stuck. Number 1, pick a lane early, like QA or regulatory, and go deep. Become a real expert. 2, always think and talk from a compliance-first mindset, and back it up with great documentation. And 3, network. But do it professionally and consistently, not loud, just quietly and effectively building real connections. You focus on these 3 habits, and you're not going to need to hustle. You'll be building something so much better, a stable, respected, high-quality career. You'll finally get past that feeling of always being almost there. So that brings us to the final question, the one I want you to really think about. Look at your own career, your own actions. Are you building it on the frantic, chaotic energy of hustle? Or are you building it on the deliberate, powerful, and valuable foundation of ownership? Because honestly, the answer to that question is going to define everything.
If this helped, like and subscribe. Watch the next video in Pharma Careers for the next role breakdown.